Yo, lock that shit in
Yeah.
now.
Hey guys, this is your favorite neighborhood gambler, Moss Money. Thanks for clicking on my video. If you're into gambling, if you're into winning money at gambling, hell, if you love talking Eagles, this is the channel and the videos for you. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and enjoy the shows. So these are the odds that have come out already. These might have changed. I got this graphic from DraftKings, so they might have changed already. But 8.5 at Notre Dame and Indiana. Texas gets 10.5 with Clemson. I'm pretty sure that might have changed. Penn State -8, SMU. Ohio State -7 at Tennessee. Then you have the. Am I missing some? It's a 12-team playoff, right?
Yep.
So those were the early lines. What games am I missing there, bro? So who
Well,
the four?
buys.
Go ahead. My bad.
There's 4 teams with buys.
The 4 teams were buys, right? So the 4 teams were buys.
That'll be it. These are the 4 games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. These are the 4 games. So I'm looking at the updated lines right now. Texas is -11 in certain books. Ohio State is 7.5. Penn State is now -9, and Notre Dame is actually that took a hit. It's -7.5, which is kind of surprising because we had talked about Notre Dame. The buys were Oregon, Boise State,
Arizona State.
Arizona State, and who was the 4th?
Arizona State. Who am I missing?
Who we missing, y'all? Help us out. Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah, Georgia. Yeah. Anything here of what you think, man, with the odds? Any reactions? Again, I think they got it right with SMU. They played well in that game. They came back too in that game. Unfortunately, they lost against Clemson. But was it Clemson they played?
Yes.
No. Yeah, it was Clemson. Yeah. Any early predictions here that you see?
That Ohio State Tennessee game I think it's gonna be a little closer than expected.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ohio State has good defense. Tennessee is really good with spreading the football around.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be a little interesting. -7. I think that's a little too much, right? I kind of feel like it's a little too much. I think it's gonna be a little closer game than that. Penn State's gonna be interesting for SMU to go to Happy Valley. Most likely it'll be a whiteout, right? First college playoff game in
Yeah, that
Penn
makes
State
sense.
history at home. It's gonna be crazy there. Um,
Yeah, well, they screwed them, right? If it was gonna be a whiteout route, the whiteout would be at night. This is a 12 o'clock game.
Well, I mean, still gonna be a whiteout.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a whiteout. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
and so hopefully, I mean, depending for SMU, we'll see what the weather is in the next week and a half,
Mm-hmm.
because that'll be another uphill battle for them to go into Happy Valley and it's cold.
Yeah,
I
that'll
think
be
they're gonna have
tough.
a problem against that Penn State defense. Although they do have tape with Oregon that really was able to do whatever they wanted to do against that Penn State defense, and Penn State was playing catch up that whole game. So they do got some tape. They probably got some vulnerable opportunities for SMU. So it'll be interesting. I'm really surprised about the Texas Clemson line. It's telling me more about Texas than it is about Clemson. It's saying Texas is going to potentially be that team that can kind of make that run. And obviously we think Oregon being a number 1 seed, did they get screwed? So there need to be some reseeding, I believe, in the college football playoffs. That you cannot allow the number 1 team to have to run through some of the teams that they got to go through. So yeah, it should be some reseeding. Notre Dame in the end, I think it's going to be a shootout. I'll look for high scoring in that game.
Yeah, I agree with the resitting. The only game that sticks out to me was that Notre Dame Indiana game, and I think that Indiana has seen some upper tier talent, and they're faltered when they've seen that talent. So that line is now 7.5. So I get the support for Indiana right there, but Notre Dame at night, 8 o'clock game, first playoff game. Yeah, I like that Fighting Irish there a lot in that game. I think they win that game by double digits. I mean, because I think who you kind of talked about SMU and tape. I know Ohio State beat the bullshit out of Indiana.
Yeah.
And then who was the other team? Michigan.
I thought the game was a little different because Najee was big, two big special team plays. I think one punt return and one punt block,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
punt block return and one deep run return. So I thought the Ohio State Indiana game was actually a little bit closer than it was. Um, but Notre Dame is hitting really. They're playing really really good football.
Mhm.
Indiana, I think, what's going to hurt them is that, man, it's going to be what, almost a month since they played. All right, we're talking about a long time of not playing any football against any competition. Uh, I think that's a little bit too long. So I think Notre Dame should be able to kind of handle business. But I like it being high scoring. I think they'll both be able to get after it, get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah. If you were putting a bet on any team right now to win it all, who would you lay the money on?
Well, as we talked about it, it's funny. I think the value is that with Notre Dame, I believe they're like plus two, plus 650. So I think you got value there. Obviously, I think the favorite's going to be, potentially Texas or Oregon. But I really think the two teams that's going to be playing for the national championship is going to be Penn State, Oregon again, and almost like a Big Ten rematch. Um, why I say that is because it's just Penn State got an easier road to get there.
Mhm.
They go through SMU, then potentially they may have to go through Boise State, right? Like,
Yeah.
then they're right there. You got to play one more game, and then they're right there. Oregon does have a tougher spot. Either they got to play Tennessee or Ohio State, then they got to end up possibly playing Texas. But they're a good team, I think. And it's like the whole SEC thing and how great the SEC is and blah blah blah. And what's going to happen is a Big Ten going to be in the final. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of them type of storylines where it's like,
Right.
well, where's your SEC team? Where's the SEC team at? So I just think it's going to be Penn State, Oregon in the final. If anything, the best value is going to be Notre Dame at plus six something for me.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm at the Notre Dame side. I just think they're so balanced from a team perspective, and I think it'd be interesting to see them go against some of their upper echelon teams, and the Ohio States, Penn States, and so forth as they go along. I don't have the bracket up right now, so I don't know where who
What you
Notre
looking
Dame
for?
would pull it. I'm thinking about who would Notre Dame play if when they win, because I think they will win.
I can take a
Um,
look at it for you. Hold on one
yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah. Let me know who they play real quick.
Notre Dame will have to play Georgia.
Yeah, and I mean with Beck hurt too. What do you know about that backup? Is that backup just a? I'm assuming he's a touted, recruit.
I mean, he looked good.
Did he? He looked like I don't know what he was thinking going head to head with a safety. That motherfucker thought what you thought you was going to truck him? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think the emotion got. Listen, he's trying to make a play. Everybody trying to make a play to make a mistake. Um,
He got his fucking bell run. He knocked his fucking helmet off. That shit was crazy.
I don't know too much for him. He's gotten some game time. Obviously in the blowouts. I think he's played in 3 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Played against UMass, Tennessee Tech, or Tennessee Christian, whatever that is, and then he played in Texas. Did good. 12 for 16, 71 yards. He did throw an interception, but you want to go in there with Carson Beck. Obviously, Carson Beck, I don't blink, will be available. There is no time limit on that injury. It is an elbow injury. Probably it looked like it's an AC joint potentially. So he
Does
most
he
likely
come
will
back?
be out. No, I don't see him coming back.
You see him? You think somebody will draft him? Well, even with the injury, because it's Tommy John surgery like for
Well, yeah,
baseball, right?
mind you, this is all assumption. I don't know. So we can report. We're not reporting accurate. We don't know what his elbow
Okay,
injury is.
okay,
Let's not
okay.
say it's Tommy John. But if we're saying it is something like that, yeah, I think he'll still get an opportunity in the NFL. Obviously, his
Interesting.
career in college is done. He'll still get an opportunity. I don't know where he'll be drafted or
There's
how
no way
high
he
he'll be
goes first round like he would have.
drafted. No, I don't think he goes first round. But let's see. Let's hope for the best. Maybe it's not a
Shit,
serious
he
as
might he
injury,
might as
but we'll
well
see.
come back get another NIL, some more NIL money. You know what I
Mm,
mean, and make another run.
that's a good point.
Shit.
That's a good point.
And then
Shit,
you got a chance possibly at a Heisman because I don't know any. I mean, there's always people who shine, but I don't know off the top of my. I
who's
can't think of
coming
any.
up?
Yeah, who's coming up? Who's
You
who's
know
the?
who's coming up?
Oh, Manning. Yeah.
You know who coming up.
I forgot about Archie.
That boy about to
My
shine.
boy Archie about to throw for like 50 touchdowns.
Yeah, lock that shit in
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
We
Archie
know
about
who
to go
we already
nuts.
know who coming up.
Yeah, I forgot
Sure.
about that. I forgot